Back in 2010, José, then chief executive, raised the banner on Sunshine Governance, an enlightened administration in which accountability would be king, transparency would be the backbone of civil service, and government officials would pledge allegiance to a clean and efficient public sector. Well, a decade on, one feels like old habits die hard, right? It would surely be unfair to turn a blind eye to the important, if insufficient, steps taken in that direction. There's also a sort of path dependence dynamics and perhaps an expectations capability gap coupled with a sort of elusive web of vested interests. Hoyat Singh's initial, unapologetic straightforwardness and talk on public administration reform and efficiency boded well for his term. His cabinet's management of the COVID-19 pandemic deserves kudos and is widely well regarded. Authorities have not only been decisive and transparent, but also gained citizens' trust and confidence with their handling of such an unprecedented and challenging public health crisis. On a different note, a couple of other cases and situations serve as a reminder that transparency might still be a bridge too far. On his very first day in office, in a bold and welcome move, Ho established a new body, the Public Assets Supervision Planning Office, headed by former Secretary for Administration and Justice, Sonia Chan. The mission is to monitor the companies and funds directly or indirectly owned by the government. One of the aims is to promote operational and financial transparency among public capital firms, meaning that international accounting standards and detailed reporting ought to be required. That, however, is still not always the case, as reflected in the simplified and rather puzzling version of the Right Railway Transit Company's balance made public in the official gazette. Public tenders. Public tenders also serve as a litmus test for the administration's confidence-building drive. And the recent controversy surrounding the Cinematheque tender raised eyebrows with many in the community, in the local film sector and other social groups being skeptical about this unknown company that was eventually awarded the contract. On a different situation, another case prompting renewed concerns within the local community, within the local civil society, relates to the high-rise tower set to mushroom on the foothill beneath the Liguilla Lighthouse. And this is a blast from the past. Over a decade ago, amidst controversy surrounding the construction of the Calçada do Gaio building, thankfully since then suspended, it became clear that sooner or later a couple of land parcels next to the Orient Arch on Avenida Rodrigo Rodrigues would be developed, and they would further obscure the already hemmed-in Guia Lighthouse, a UNESCO-listed World Heritage Site. The lenient height limit, 90 meters, determined for the area by the government in 2008 was a missed opportunity and an unfortunate decision, one that hurt the feelings of local residents who treasure the city's urban landscape and who rightly believe that heritage protection does not end with conserving the sites themselves, something that, by the way, the government has been doing quite successfully, but also entails ensuring that buffer zones and adjacent areas around sites are not jeopardized by mammoth-scale projects. Scarcity of land is surely an issue, and property developers need more space to rekindle the city's construction and real estate industry, but that need not to and are not to be disproportionately at the expense of Macau's priceless historic heritage vistas. There's still time for the government and developers to make the necessary adjustments and reach a mutual beneficial agreement to lessen this project's visual impact. Shortage of land will soon be eased by the new urban zones reclaimed from the sea. Development of the 6 new artificial land areas offers the city an opportunity to strike the right balance between public and private housing and social and transportation infrastructure to promote economic diversification and truly shape this city as it emerges from the current decade into a world-class, people-oriented, business-friendly urban space well integrated into the Greater Bay Area. It's about time Macau got urban planning right. The long-deferred urban master plan can be kept on the back burner no longer. The way forward? Well, further engaging professionals and citizens in paving the way for a successful, inclusive, and environmentally friendly urban area. Without the backroom deals, the delays and continual budget overruns that have plagued the city's healthy urban development in the past. One now expects that lessons have been learned, and that guided by a strong commitment to efficiency and transparency, the authorities will light the way to the city's bright future.